Players' Championship in New England has twists and turns, but not in the last round. Verdance does take down Florian Rotwood Harbinger, as is the tale that has been told through Twitter and Discord discourse alike. That being said, Ricardo Rua, the man who has taken down one of the three Verdances in the room, is still live for top 8. The difference in coverage at this point is that we turn to the red boxes. At this point, we want the highest stakes match possible, which means lose and out. Both of the players we're going to be following next are X and 2, which means that the loser is going to be kicked off the island and sent home.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, it will be. But the feature match is going to be Joshua Tavares on Kayo, Armed and Dangerous, versus Joseph Kaiser of the Wolfpack on Kassai of the Golden Sands. It's important to mention at this point, the two Kassais in the room are both in lose and out situations. Could be that it was just simply not the New England meta call that it was touted to be by both William Perlman and Joseph Kaiser. Could be that it sneaks its way into the top 8, just like Colin Erickson last year, and does some dirty work against matchups that it shouldn't be.
Yeah, you never know until the game is decided.
First, we got to talk about the KO player. It's going to be Joshua Tavares, a hometown favorite from New England, has always ready to shout out his girlfriend Destiny whenever he's making it to the top 8. Gotta love a home stand chan. I hear he is up big mungus, and he's part of the Purple City Bird gang in New England. He is our 6th seed, bringing KO Armed and Dangerous, sporting a 66% win rate at AGE this year, and also 4 top 8s, including the Hunted Limited at the beginning of the year. So Joshua is one of those players that doesn't put up massive results all the time, even though he has taken down one of the opens over the year. Just performs well every single time he shows up.
Consistent player, and that is exactly what you need to be if you want to take down an event. Of course, every time you roll the die, you get an opportunity, and here he is once again fighting for his life.
He thinks you've got to know that a quahog in New England is a clam used for stuffing. That's the most important thing about New England.
I know it from I think Family Guy. Yep. It's their hometown. So nice to know that it is in fact an animal as well, or at least the shell portion.
You don't eat the shell?
I don't.
All right, that's a choice.
Not usually.
Got to shout out Houses of the Holy, a Led Zeppelin pick for the Desert Island album. Got to give Joshua respect for that. I'm a classic rock guy myself. But what does he bring into the tournament? It's KO Armed and Dangerous. We've already mentioned before. Got to compare his list to that of Noah Bagelman, who remains live for top 8. I'm immediately looking at the non-attack actions, and I think they're fairly aligned. We've got 3 Blood Rush Bellow, 3 Tear Limb from Limb, and no Cast Bones in sight. What do you think of that decision, Michael?
Yeah, I think Cast Bones is maybe just a little bit too inconsistent. It plays poorly with the Blood Rush Bellow, so I think you got to just sort of pick one and stick with it. Notably, not on some of the Verdance tech that we saw, the No Fear, not available here, meaning that if you do end up facing down a big arcane spell, you are just going to have to take it or take what AB you've brought to the matchup and block it that way.
Otherwise, his list is looking fairly similar to Noah Bagelman. I wonder if they communicated on this, because the authority of Ataya definitely makes my eyebrow raise. The one of Reckless Swing, you got to be bringing that to close out games in a quick and easy fashion. But really, really close on these ideologies are Josh and Noah Bagelman.
Yeah, that being said, sometimes it is the 1 or 2 card difference that makes all the difference in the game of Flesh and Blood.
Without a doubt, the competitor on the other side of the board is Joseph Kaiser of the Wolfpack. Got a 58% win rate in AGE Season 1 in New England, 2 top 8s, and I don't believe that's correct, the 98 AGE points. I think that might have been my issue putting together these player profiles late at night. It is what it is. But Joseph would... I really like this question. The round 1 pairing question. If you had to take, essentially, it's if you had to take your round 1 pairing on a date. And Paul Gibby, being our Acilio player in the room, Joseph wants him to talk him out of his scares about the singularity and the impending AI uprising. Where do you stand on that, Michael?
Well, I think as an Acilio player myself, I favor our electric overlords.
Okay,
I'm
fair.
very in the same team as the electricity and wherever it flows.
Joseph says, the bad weather got you down. Just wait a little bit. It'll all pass. That's the way New England functions. The deck list, however, tells a different story. As mentioned before, it's Kassai of the Golden Sand. A lot of standard equipment in the loadout there. 2 Centauri Sabers, though, which is a telltale sign of this draw swords. I'm going to say seduce secrets as well, because there's 3 copies in the yellow pitch variant of Kassai of the Golden Sand. Popularized, I believe, by Andrew Rothermel in a recent Battle Hardened.
Yeah, I think this list looks more aggressively slanted than some of the Kassai lists of old, which seems to be important in this meta. So many defensive heroes, so many different sort of OTK plans if you don't kill them in time. So being able to rush people down and play aggressively is really, really important. Seeing the choices here seems to play towards that game plan.
Did have to bring in some tech pieces, knowing that his round 1 was Paul Gibby on Acilio. Constella Intelligence has 2 Amulet of Echoes. Doesn't seem to have made the difference there. It's a traditionally unfavored matchup for Kassai, and Amulet of Echoes is one of the ways you can kind of tech your way out of it.
Yeah, I think the only problem with it is you still need to find it before they find it. And when you're only on 2 copies, of course, you do need to make concessions for the rest of the field, but you're not as likely to see one before the Acilio if you only have 2.
Joseph Kaiser has made some concessions, but he has not conceded out of this tournament yet. Can knock the door down on Joshua Tavares in order to proceed forth. But one of these players is not going to be seen again on coverage for the rest of the day. We've got to have an answer. There can only be one. Will it be Joshua Tavares on Kayo Armed and Dangerous, or Joseph Kaiser on Kassai of the Golden Sand? A classic heavy hitters matchup, a meta that a lot of people harken back to as one of their favorite in Flesh and Blood. But Michael, is that your opinion?
Heavy hitters meta is when Victor Goldmain first came out, and I am loving him right now. I got to say, I'm looking forward to this throwback.
No surprises in the equipment suite here. Joshua Tavares, though, perhaps the most contentious decision is bringing in beaten trackers over scabskin leathers. There's a member of my team several members of my team actually, who tout scabskins as a bad card and would much rather have 1 instance of a guaranteed action point during the game over a 50% upside after rolling a die.
Do you think that makes a lot of sense, as Joseph Kaiser appears to be going first, choosing his attack pattern as we speak, and he starts sending a lot of damage, putting that...
That's a Slice and Dice into a Centauri Saber. Currently, Slice and Dice only giving +1 to Centauri Saber, so coming in for 3. The real power of Slice and Dice, of course, is the second weapon swing, which implies Joseph Kaiser is ready to give this go again and send the right hand as well. In the hand is Glint the Quicksilver. Probably going to get reprise value here because Joshua definitely wants to be blocking on turn 0. Fearless Confrontation comes down, gives the +1 to Centauri Saber. Glint the Quicksilver, gonna draw a card. And it's yet another sink below. Nothing too special to be had on turn 0. Joseph would much rather be drawing into some attack reactions and pushing more damage, but that is not his fate so far. Can swing that additional Saber, but if your opponent's just going to block it out and get some filtering done, do you?
I could see a world where you don't. Joseph probably happy to arsenal one of these D-reacts, but we're seeing the Vigor get made and another... Nope, just... Oh, okay. Brave Forge Bracers coming out and swinging. Okay, there's a break point here if he blocks with an attack. So I do still like this.
It's more than a break point. It's 6 thanks to that Slice and Dice. Joe doesn't want to lose any value on the Slice and Dice that he played in the beginning of the turn, and it's paying dividends because Joshua Tavares has nothing but non-blocks in the hand, which means that Savage Sash might be coming out to play a little bit earlier than Joshua would have liked. It's 2 Bare Fangs in the hand along with a Wild Ride. One of those things that can happen rarely in the newfangled KO deck, but shouldn't be happening regularly.
And still gets to pitch that last sink below for a Vigor token. So actually really, really efficient first turn of the game for Joseph.
Joe's really happy here. Pockets a sink below for later, so going to be able to do defense and then offense on his turn. Joshua has access to action points, though. We'll definitely be getting a Might token before this turn is over as well, thanks to the static text on KO. Card drawn, I couldn't quite make out. I don't think it's a miss, though. So it's 2 Bear Fangs and a mystery card in the hand for this random discard. 35 plays 40, and we're only 3 minutes into this. Round 4 of the Arcane Games and Events Players Championship in New England. Might token generated here as Bear Fangs number 1 goes into the graveyard. And it's a resource card for Joshua Tavares, which means that Claw plus Bear Fangs is likely the follow-up.
Yeah, nice curve there. Joseph, thumb in the arsenal, wondering if this is the time to cash it in. I could see it one way or the other. I do really like sitting on those D-reacts into Kayo, just saying, if you ever dare to play a pulping to start, I will shut that down. So there is some potential value to be gained by not playing it here if Joseph can block efficiently with the hand and decides not to block at all, leaning aggressively.
5 damage comes across. Joseph has 2 resources at the ready, but that's not enough quite to get through a turn cycle with what he's got. He needs 1 for a swing of Centauri Saber, 1 for a swing of the other, but also 1 for the Go Again enablers in hand. They're Blade Runner and Run Through. So right now, Joe just happy to take this offensive swing from Joshua. 3 Go Again now with the Mandible Claw. I could see a world where Joseph blocks with, yes, one of the redundant Go Again reactions in the hand. Run Through, blocks out for 3 there. And Bear Fangs, the follow-up for Joshua Tavares. Run Roughshod discarded there, so this is going to be a big, bad 8. And Joseph Kaiser yet to cash in Valiant Dynamos.
Yeah, this seems like a good time to do that. Maybe keep the rest of the hand, assuming he wants to have that really spicy offensive turn and play the aggro race against this Kayo here.
Important to mention that 2 cards have been drawn for Joshua Tavares, even though 2 have also been discarded. It's not the normal use case for Balance of Justice against Kayo. Usually you wait for the Blood Rush turn, and that's how you kind of match the value being generated. Joseph did have the opportunity to block with Balance of Justice and make a bigger offensive hand. In this case, just wants to play it a little bit slower, use that Sink Below in Arsenal, perhaps has plans for it on this turn cycle. But I think he's just going to vomit these cards out onto the combat chain.
Yeah, I think so too. Coming out with the
Outland Skirmish. Next one-handed weapon attack going to get +3, and the next time a weapon attack hits this turn, a copper token will be generated. Copper tokens used probably most by Kassai of the Golden Sand. The whole purpose, of course, is to build up a Blood on Our Hands turn and use all of those pennies for a massive damage swing out of nowhere.
Speaking of blood, Joshua Tavares drew up that Blood Rush Bellow, so unlikely to see blocking here, unless, of course, he wants to play it a little bit slower and pop that in the arsenal for an even bigger pop-off turn. Definitely thinking about it right now.
Perhaps an unlucky start for Joshua with those 3 non-blocks in hand, but finding your first Blood Rush this early is a feather in his cap, to be sure. 32 plays 35, a small life surplus for our Brute player. But that is not long for this world as he stares down a 5 damage swing of the Centauri Saber. Joshua, nevertheless, blocking out entirely with equipment, including the Scowling Flesh Bag, which honestly is not going to do a whole lot on this turn for Joseph. He's going to be able to save a card for Arsenal, but he has 2 Go Again enablers in hand. Definitely wants to be hitting. No, actually, this is going to do some serious work now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, I think because he's not activating Reprise, the Glint is offline, so not drawing that extra card, which matters. You know, it's not that card, though. It is the Blade Runner, but yeah, no resources to swing with the second Centauri Saber, so that Flesh Bag absolutely
that was actually
shutting
huge.
things down.
The winner of that turn cycle is undoubtedly Joshua Tavares, as Joseph Kaiser, despite having 3 sources of Go Again at the beginning of his defensive turn, was unable to convert all of those cards.
And here it is, Blood Rush coming down, not even needing to wait for that 5-card hand. He's got the resources. He's got enough to go.
Gonna be really happy whichever card he discards here. It is the Buck Wild. Oh, no. I thought the Buck Wild was in the red. It is the blue. So probably much happier to hold on to the Run Roughshod in hand. Oh, excuse me. It was a show of strength. Run Roughshod's in the pitch.
Did you get that blue? Got a yellow. right?
No yellow. Swing
Okay.
big, show of strength, and savage feast.
So this could be our Savage Sash breaking turn.
Very well could be. 2 are floating for the Mandible Claw to come in for 6 if Joshua decides he wants to do that. Also, could simply pop Savage Sash, as he does here, and send that Savage Feast for free. If he finds himself a resource card, he'll be able to send Mandible Claw and also Show of Strength.
Ooh.
Or Swing Big. Here we go. Savage Feast coming in for 0, folks. A 0 for 8 on this Blood Rush Bellows turn.
I hear that's good.
Ain't bad, especially after you've blocked with the Beaten Trackers. Love the fact that Joshua has insulated himself from losing value. Beaten Trackers immediately going to generate an action point the moment a card with 6 or more hits the graveyard. So Savage Feast coming in for 9 essentially go again, thanks to the Might token generated last turn. And Joshua showing a very similar approach to this KO deck as Noah Bagelman, his cohort in Brutedom on this day.
And he did get the blue.
He found the blue, which means not only being able to send Swing Big for a big bag 10, it's going to be 11 thanks to the new legendary arm piece Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex. This is a fearsome turn. It's going to be 9 into 5, 14 plus 11. 25 damage on turn 2 of the game.
Silver lining here, getting to cash in that balance plus a defense reaction in the hand of Joseph means he will be able to stifle some of this damage efficiently, but likely to take a good amount regardless.
Fate Foreseen plus Balance of Justice. A really awesome combo on a turn where your opponent is threatening Blood Rush Bellows, because Joseph Kaiser is going to have full information about what he draws off the top. Could even elect to hold on to the Balance of Justice if it's not a useful piece.
Kept it on top, so you got to think he likes what he sees.
Joshua Tavares closing the combat chain to activate Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex. Smashing ground into the pitch zone, assuredly to send Mandible Claw. Yes, indeed, for 6, folks. 6 go again here. To be considered by the Warrior player that potentially could. Balance of Justice cashed in immediately. The card drawn. Spoils of War and Blood Follows Blade and Unsheathed in the hand for Joseph Kaiser. I don't think he's going to be doing much more blocking this turn.
Yeah, if he can help it, this is absolutely a disgusting offensive turn. And we see him reaching for that notepad. Just says no blocks on the claw. Swing big now. Coming in.
That Scowling Fleshbag, I keep thinking back to it, was just huge for Joshua Tavares. It was a 50-50 to, I mean, he was making the turn awkward no matter what, but also prevented the second dagger from swinging, getting an extra point of value from Valiant Dynamos, also 2 from the second Centauri Saber.
Yeah, it was worth like 9 value, that
Infinite.
one card.
Blood Follows Blade, the block here on Swing Big. Even though a lot of people would like to see a sellsword developed here, I think Joseph is making the correct play here because he's already got a source of go again in the arsenal in the form of that red Blade Runner.
All the way down to 16, Joseph is going to need to send a turn as vicious as the one we just saw in order to even out the life totals.
I don't know if it can get more vicious of that, but but Spoils of War is the way to start it off. Joseph is turning blood into pennies, and hopefully pennies into serious damage. 4 damage readily accepted by Joshua, down to 31, 2 copper generated there.
Snap, no blocks.
Spoils of War, of course, providing go again to the Centauri Saber. Still an Unsheathed in the hand for Joseph Kaiser, and also a red Blade Runner in the arsenal. Might elect to just hold on to that Blade Runner, because if there's one thing you don't want in a Kassai deck is too many redundant sources of go again. Chain closed here for Unsheathed. And Centauri Saber II being thumbed by Joseph Kaiser.
Thinking about
Kassai
maybe
activation, I think.
Yeah, either that or even the Brave Forge Bracers. But yeah, goes for the Kassai activation. When you see no blocks on the first swing, you're feeling pretty confident that the second will hit.
This Saber coming in for 5. thanks to the unsheath, will still generate 2 copper on connection. Also a gold token thanks to the Kassai activation. Life totals getting a little bit closer, but it's still firmly in the hand of the Brute.
Yeah, that wasn't as big of a turn as Joseph probably wanted, but without any copper on the board, any hope of anything big like a Blood on Our Hands is not available yet. Now it is, though.
Wild Ride. Drawing and discarding a card for Joshua Tavares. Going to be coming in for 6 no matter what, but will it have go again? Joshua does have a Beast Within in hand. 1 in 3 chance in order to essentially draw another card. Blood Rush Bellows. Drawn off the top. Joshua Tavares, his turn completely screwed because of random variance off the top. His eyebrows go to the ceiling, and the cameras break based on that variance from the Brute player. Josh is not happy to see that. Noah Bigelman, in a most recent episode of the Runaways podcast, says nothing beats the rush of playing Kayo and drawing a random Blood Rush off the top and risking it all.
Oh, that hurts to see. Joshua may have just lost all of the tempo that he gained for this game.
And this could be the exact moment, the stumble that Joseph Kaiser needed from the Brute gods in order to sally forth with a dual-wielding warrior. Shelter from the Storm is in hand. Sharpened Senses is in hand.
Just blocks 4 of 6, takes a little bit more, and has a 4-card hand to work with to send back.
Oh, Joseph missed a point of value on Valiant Dynamo, though.
Oof.
As a fellow Warrior player, this hurts my heart so much. 14 plays 26. But Joseph is going to be able to start kind of okay. It's 2 yellows pitched to draw swords, not what you want to be seeing, but now the swords will be free for the remainder of the turn. Does mean that Blade Runner from the arsenal can carry us through to the end. Draw Sword's also going to provide +3 to the next warrior attack this turn. 14 plays 26. We're only 15 minutes into round 4, and it's already reaching a fever pitch.
Yeah, and even despite that absolute shutdown, discarding the Blood Rush Bellows, if Joshua says no blocks here and just takes the full damage, they'll still be even. He still has a Blood Rush Bellow in hand. I don't hate this spot for Joshua still.
Josh really finding all those copies of Blood Rush Bellows really quick. And that's one of the things about these power cards that draw cards. The more you resolve, the more you get to resolve later on in the game. I'm reminded of 3 of a Kind, of course, from the Lexi days.
And he still has another chance to hit the Beast Within as well to just absolutely round out the power of the Blood Rush.
Blood on Our Hands, the card drawn from Draw Swords. Nevertheless, Joseph Kaiser waits until the resolution, the first swing of a Centauri Saber in order to send it. I think that's a curious choice.
Did he swing with the... Yeah, I guess he did.
I'm pretty sure he did because Blade Runner is already resolved.
It probably, if he puts it all on one sword, doesn't change anything.
That's true. That's a fair point. Maybe lulling Joshua into a false sense of security. But Draw Swords showing its stripes on a turn like this. Likely the chosen modes here are +1/+1, go again, and swing twice on one of those daggers. Excuse me, swords.
Joshua just happy to take it. He knows he can't die here, so that's what the life is for. It's for ensuring you can keep a 5-card Blood Rush Bellow hand.
Wait a minute. The numbers went kind of fast there. There was some shortcutting. But the way everything was postured, there were only 2 more sword swings.
Yeah, I think the life totals are a little bit ahead of the camera.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering, I feel like Joseph Kaiser should have, with 4 copper, should have been able to swing swords 3 more times.
Oh, and he hits the
Beast Within off of Blood Rush Bellows, exactly what you want to see. Joshua Tavares securing a resource card without even drawing up on Blood Rush as of yet. 1 damage taken there, 12 plays 14. But Joseph might not be long for this world. The benefit for him at this point is that Joshua has pitched a red, but after finding a blue off the top, you know that this turn is gonna be big. And it's 2 blues in the hand for Joshua Tavares. Sky is the limit. What is not limited, though, is action points.
Yeah, if he has like a wild ride in Arsenal, that'd be sweet, but it doesn't look like that is the case.
Activation of Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex is next. Mandible Claw. Coming across the table for, should be 7, thanks to Gauntlets and also, oh wait, did he generate a Might token last turn? I don't think he did.
No.
So never mind, just 6 here. But when you're at 14, not what you want to be seeing if you're the Kassai.
Cashing in the armor.
Taking 1 despite shoving the entire fridge onto the combat chain. Joseph perhaps hoping that chain will be broken later on, and he'll be able to block yet again. But not likely for Joshua. I'm really liking that copy of Reckless Stampede if I'm him. If it's not easy enough to win clashes as KO armed and dangerous, it's even easier when your opponent has almost no attack action cards in their deck.
Yeah, this one should hit a few times. Wouldn't surprise me if Joseph just said no blocks and decided to try to swing for the fences.
Because Reckless Stampede is one of those cards. Probably exactly why Joseph shoved all of his equipment on the Mandible Claw. Because those are cards. And Reckless Stampede requires you to clash for every card defending the chain link rather than action cards from hand or something like that.
And this Stampede is causing a real earthquake as the camera shakes, cosplaying the Stampede.
From the bellows and bowels is where Joseph is going to have to reach in order to find the victory here.
Josh did miss just a little bit of blocking potential value on that last turn. IP1.
Does have, is that a draw swords or a shelter? That's a draw swords. Does he have 2 non-blocks in hand, Michael? I know I saw Riches, but now I think, yep. I have Ophidia and Riches of Tropeldani are together in the hand.
Ouch.
It's one of the downsides of this aggro slanted Kassai list. You can't do the mid-range thing nearly as well.
To be fair, I don't know that he wants to block that anyway. The Stampede is just going to leak a ton of damage either way you slice it. So Joseph just taking it and trying his own hand at a vicious offensive turn, seeing what he can get.
It's a Fate Foreseen and a Blade Runner on top of the deck. I have Ophidia pitched here. So what Joe is debating here is the opt. Which of these cards does he want to draw after Draw Swords resolves?
I like it. Keeping the Fate Foreseen below the Blade Runner means that he will be able to utilize the Blade Runner this turn and have a nice defensive piece. He needs it sitting at 4 life.
Draw Swords plus Outland Skirmish means this next Saber, the first Saber, is going to get +5. Should be coming in for 7. Also going to be threatening a gold token generation off of the Kassai of the Golden Sand activated ability. And here comes Centauri Saber, free. Thanks to the card draw on Draw Swords. Also, bears mentioning that Joseph Kaiser has 1 in the pitch, even though it's not represented there for that Blade Runner. Excuse me, never mind. He pitched it all for Draw Swords. Blade Runner going to be utilized with Riches of Tropeldani. Gold token generated there.
Josh sitting at 5 now. Joseph going to be swinging in for 5, so asking for at least 1 card.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, 5 from the Blade Runner means lethal is being threatened, but Josh does have 1 equipment block left. But it all depends on the hand. He's got himself an Agile Windup and another blue.
And we know that Joseph is about to draw into a defense reaction. We might see that new Fabled card coming in for value.
Activation of Brave Forge Bracers means that Centauri Saber comes in for 6. So dash what I said earlier. Extra points can be generated by both Warrior and Brute now. So Joshua must block with a card from hand. Likely makes it more difficult to discard that Agile Windup. We have a game on our hands, folks.
Yeah, this is razor thin now. Joseph finding what he needed to claw back into this game. Mostly off the back of that Blood Rush Bellows. And Joshua goes to 1.
Centauri Saber gets buffed up by 1 because Swing Big is an attack action card. Joshua keeps an Agile Windup, another blue, card in hand and card in arsenal.
Joseph, keeping the D-React on top, is going to be super happy to have that available until he sees the Atani.
Might token pops. Next attack gets +1. It's Wild Ride in the hand, pitching Authority of Ataya, which means that Joseph Kaiser, yep, given a nod, understands that that Fate Foreseen is a little bit stranded. I think that's the only copy of Defense Reaction in his hand, though. Does have that benefit going for him. Wild Ride, drawn randomly and discarded there, so Joshua has himself a blue in the hand, which means that if there's a 2-cost in the arsenal, this is going to be really difficult for Joseph to survive.
Yeah, that Defense Reaction is burning a hole in his pocket at the moment.
7 go again here when Joseph Kaiser remains at 4. Has access to 3 block value in the equipment suite. But with Authority of Ataya pitched, Joshua giving a wry smile. I think he knows he's got a good situation here. Authority of Ataya, and a fascinating card in KO because it provides yet another miss.
Yeah.
Blocked out completely. Is this Wild Ride 3 go again on Mandible Claw? Likely means there's a 2-cost to follow. And if it's a Show of Strength or Swing Big, it could be putting in too much work against Joseph.
And there it is. Thumbing it, playing it. Swing Big is the card.
8 damage. Finishes up this turn. It was 7 into 3 into 8. This is an 18 damage turn. Joseph Kaiser shows the Fate Foreseen and succumbs to the raw power and bludgeoning potential of KO Armed and Dangerous. This heavy hitters match goes the way of the Brutes.
Wow. What a close one. That was swingy, too.
Swingy, to be sure, but also Joshua Tavares came out swinging and then was stopped dead in his tracks after doing the very same thing to Joseph Kaiser with the Scowling Flesh Bag. So, just desserts for all things said and done.
No, the amount of gambling that took place, the wins, the losses, that was chaotic, to say the least.
We can expect nothing less from the deathmatch arena, Michael, and that is exactly where we were. The sands are coated in blood, and the players are dirtied, battered, but not broken, is Joshua Tavares. We are saying goodbye to Joseph Kaiser, one of our 2 Kassais in the room. We'll have to see if we can get an update about William Perlman, the only other Kassai, fighting their way through the deathmatch arena, trying to raise an army and make it to the top 8. Congratulations to Joshua Tavares. He remains alive, but still in the red box, ready to lose and out or find his way to glory in the next match. We'll absolutely be getting Joshua for an interview. He's one of the guys we know and love from the New England circuit, has been battling it out since the February Open, our first ever event in New England, and I'm really happy that he made it through. No offense to Joseph Kaiser. Love him as well, but Joshua has a big place in my heart.
We love the ones that have been there since the start. So respect to him and respect to the win.
And respect to our sponsor, Grave Troll Games in Nashua, New Hampshire. That is exactly where all of these illustrious players have their butts parked and are playing amazing games of Flesh and Blood. Another shout out to Katie Lamar, owner of Grave Troll Games, who has been incredibly accommodating to us. We also have to mention the fantastic folks that have made this show possible. Jesse Harper, your Riptide Chad, your Talishar Lexi mainstay from back in the day, and also Peter, who have been our stream techs since day one. We're so thankful that they're able to put their amazing brain cells to the task and help us put on a show that's not even in our backyard. It's very, very special thanks to them and all of you who keep these shows rolling, keep us coming back to YouTube time and time again. We'll be back with an interview with Joshua Tavares in more mere moments. And, of course, more Flesh and Blood. Don't go anywhere. The winner of round 4 is Joshua Tavares, who doesn't ascend to top 8 yet, but he is 1 game further away, that is, from total elimination at the AG New England Players Championship. Josh, you have stymied defeat once more and taken down the heavy hitters grudge match against Kassai of the Golden Sand. How
True.
you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling great. I'm having fun playing games all day today. Can't ask for anything more than that.
That's what we like to hear. And that's what you've been doing all year long. We were talking about how you're one of the guys that comes and puts up consistently good performances every open during the year, rather than coming in and just, winning one, maybe two, and securing the Players Championship there. You're no slouch. You have won one of these events before on Sindra Drakai of Retribution, but talk to me about what it's been like to have, monthly 1Ks in your backyard.
Oh, it's so awesome. You always have something to practice for and to look forward to, and just practice playing in tournaments. And I love to come to these where there are other people outside of just your locals meeting up some of the best players, and we all get to play great games of Flesh and Blood.
In an amazing location as well. Shout out to Katie Lamar and Grave Troll Games. They've been magnificent hosts for both the stream and the players alike. We're showcasing the beautiful facilities right behind you there, Josh. Bring me into the room. What's the vibe for the Players Championship?
Oh, I feel like I'm just sitting in a room full of my friends, just playing Flesh and Blood. Store's awesome. It's always a great time.
I'm
Happy
glad to
be
hear
here
it.
for sure.
Josh, we have to mention the folks that are watching you at home, because you have someone very special who is dedicated to being in chat and making sure that you feel the love and support. Who you shouting out?
Hi, Destiny. I love you.
What's up, Destiny? Thank you so much for joining us and for cheering your boy on. It must be amazing to have somebody at home who cheers you on and makes you feel the love.
Makes it fun. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, if you take this one down, if you get the cash, what are you and Destiny doing?
Well, I think she'll stay at home, and I'll use the money and go have fun all to myself. You think that's a good idea? I deserve it. I won.
That's a bold choice, man, especially when you know she's watching.
You know, her and we're having the best time together all of the time. But if I win this, it's for me. I won. It's only fair.
Nothing to say about the love and support she's given you along the way in the waiting in the wings.
No.
Well, I hope you reconsider, brother. I'm working on him, Destiny. Know that I'll have a fun date for you planned by the end of today. Josh, you remain in contention. Talk to me about your mindset moving into the next match, where it's a losing out and a winning in for you.
I just decided that I'm gonna play to the best of my ability, and as long as I don't make any mistakes, then I did the best I could, and it's just out of my hands. Whatever happens, as long
Speaking
as I maintain a positive attitude, I usually do well. And if not, I kept a positive attitude, so I don't leave sad anyways.
words to live by, to be sure. And speaking of hitting stumbles along the way, in the middle of that game, after taking a commanding initial lead, finding a first blood rush, putting it together with a Savage Sash for, I think it was a 28 damage turn, you did randomly draw and discard a Blood Rush Bellows when it hurt a lot. Talk to me about that moment.
Um, it's just one of those, like, you have the two cards, everything's fine. You just need to not draw a miss, and you can play the game. You draw the miss. I get that bit of anxiety. I get that thought of like, ooh, do I Beast Within and like turn this into a Blood Rush? Kassai doesn't play Arsenal Disruption. Do I set Blood Rush? I'm thinking mostly positive thoughts. I'm not thinking about discarding the Blood Rush, but you do. Mm, you just have to do your best after that happens.
You know,
What else can you do?
you looked pretty unflappable in the moment. It didn't seem to get in your head. It didn't seem to tilt you out in any respect. Has bringing Kayo to events kind of instilled like a lack of fear in you, or a tougher skin in order to get through those moments?
I'd say so, yeah, because the highs of the deck definitely balance out the lows, and I think if I'm able to control the variance as best I can and deck construction, how I'm blocking or not blocking, I think I can swing things in my favor. And KO is my boy. I love KO.
Heck yeah.
Sometimes, not so much, but other times, come on, that's my dude.
Well, I'm glad he's doing you well today, Josh. Speaking of another one of the highs that balance out the lows, that Scowling Fleshbag turn, man. Do you have any idea how good that was?
Well, yeah, I mean, he passed his turn, so that was pretty good. He didn't get to refresh his boots, and I'm just thinking, like, I played against Joe like last month, I think, in the finals of a tournament, and I made the game go so long. I was blocking out. I was respecting the copper so much. And I think I was playing Tunic instead of the Sash. I think that when I play the long game against Kassai, she's just going to end up outvaluing me. So I looked at my 5 armor and I looked at my hand that could potentially. So my armor is going to block and then it's going to have like the offensive value. And I just like saw a chance to maybe come up big mungus, make him. I'm assuming, yeah, I intimidated the go again card, and I got the value on him not being able to refresh the boots. It's nice and good.
Yeah, and beyond that, it was without a doubt the big mungus moment of the game because the way things drew up on that Blood Rush turn, you had outlets for Sash. You had outlets for your beaten trackers. So you left no defensive value on the table and came back swinging hard.
That's what I needed, for sure.
Without a doubt, especially against Kassai, who is normally kind of a stalwart defender. What do you think about the more aggro slanted list that both William Perlman and Joseph Kaiser brought today?
I don't think I have comments on it. What would you say makes them more offensive than usual?
It's mainly the package of draw swords and also seduce to secrets that make it more of an aggro slanting list, as opposed to, say, the heavy hitters mid-range style where we were seeing things like Heart of Fjendal and also a lot higher density of blocking cards.
I see. Yeah, just in general, I don't have many games against Kassai. I was familiar that they play draw swords, but I just thought it was a part of their engine to give their things a go again. I hope so. I hope draw swords gets to go again. What does it do? Draws them a card.
Draws a card,
Oh,
makes
makes
it
their
free.
sword free. Makes their sword free. Very good.
Exactly.
I have no comments. I don't know.
Well, you certainly took this one down, so maybe it's not a point that you really need to quibble about, Josh. Now we turn to a much more interesting topic of discussion. Everyone at the AG New England Players Championship has received a box of Stidger family fudge. Are we enjoying it, Josh? Have you taken a nibble yet?
So, there I was, 0-2 in the tournament, dehydrated, not feeling good. They're just thinking like, today is not my day. I open up the box of fudge. Beautiful. I have one of each flavor. The Sugar Rush was amazing. Each one tasted so good. It picked me up. I used the restroom. I washed my face a little bit. I said, it's time to get back and play some games. That was the perfect pick-me-up. It felt like I was in a video game, like taking the power up. Incredible.
Is it safe to say that it's not the blood rushes that have pulled you through, but rather the sugar rushes?
Ooh, you could definitely say that. That's a good one.
Joshua Tavares is Sugar Rush Bellows from now until the end of this day. Josh, you're absolutely crushing it. You've got a smile on your face. You got Destiny in chat who is sending nothing but love and heart emojis. You seem like the luckiest guy out there right now.
What more could you ask for?
Josh is up big mungus, much like competitor Ka-chan before him, and we can't wait to see more from you, Josh. Is there any, if the broader Flesh and Blood world wants to see more from you, is there anywhere they can find you online?
Not really, but maybe someday soon.
All right, I like to hear that. We will be posting Joshua's winning deck list on both Twitter and Blue Sky. Definitely check those spots out. We'll also be posting in our AGE Discord. If you haven't made your way in there yet, follow the slides that are going on during the intro and, the break videos. And I'm going to let Josh go, maybe get another Sugar Rush and prepare for the next game. We're all counting on you, Josh. Do your best. Try to make that top 8, brother.
Thank you.
We'll be back later. We'll be back with more Flesh and Blood, more Sugar Rushes, more Joshua Tavares, and more from the AGE Players Championship after this. Don't go anywhere.